Good morning, I'm DeAndre, and it is the sound that puts fear in the veins of fugitives. It is time for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. Every week we partner with Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County and the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department to get 3 fugitives off our street. These are people who are making us all just a little bit less safe, especially when you hear the charges that some of these individuals are facing. Let's bring in Detective Red Dyer as we do every week. Detective, how are you today?
Great, Dan. Great. Hold your applause.
Yeah, look at that. Like that. Detective, every week we have this partnership, and we've been doing this for years now. What is it with Crime Stoppers, with the Sheriff's Department, and working with Channel 19? Why is this so valuable?
Well, Dan, we at Crime Stoppers recognize the value of the eyes and ears of our community. The push that these individuals have that they want to clean up their streets, they want to make their streets safer for everyone, get justice for these victims, and it also opens up the potential for a reward, which we'll get into a little later.
And I always like the fact that, Red, you talk about the victims getting justice. Think about this. There are people, one of our individuals today, one of our fugitives is facing attempted murder charges. Somebody that had a bullet graze their neck. How safe can that person feel if the person accused of, accused of this crime is still on our streets? So very important that we get justice for the victims. And in fact, that's the case we're going to start with here. Let's get this off and running with the surrounding the case of DeAndre Seals. What do we know?
Well, Dan, we know that DeAndre Seals is facing upwards of, I believe I counted 14 charges. He actually has 2 warrants with the Sheriff's Department. In October of 2022, he pled guilty to attempted felonious assault and DUI. According to reports in that case, Dan, DeAndre rammed his vehicle into the back of the victim's vehicle and then intentionally struck the front driver's side of the vehicle as well. The victim actually was treated and released from the hospital with a fractured hand. In his second case, he pled guilty to aggravated assault and endangering children. According to reports in that case, DeAndre assaulted the victim, causing a bloody nose, as well as pulling a firearm out on the victim and shooting them, causing a graze wound to their neck. So very serious and scary situation we're talking about here. He failed to appear for court, and warrants were issued for his arrest. He's approximately 6'2" and 200 pounds, and was last known to be staying in the 17,000 block of Westdale Avenue in the city of Cleveland.
How fortunate for that victim. You get a bullet that grazes your neck. That's one of those situations, and we hear it all the time. Boy, 2 inches one direction or another, who knows the outcome of that case. So very scary, and why would we not want an individual like that off our streets and out of your neighborhood? Again, DeAndre Seals was that case. Let's get to our next fugitive, Renee Taylor. What do we know?
Well, Dan, as we've stated before here at Crime Stoppers, we've seen multiple different weapons used in this case, so this one's definitely interesting. In September of 2023, Miss Taylor pled guilty to vandalism and assault. According to reports, Miss Taylor struck the victim over the head with a heavy glass bowl during an argument. The victim was transported to UH Parma emergency room and given approximately 20 to 30 stitches for their injuries. She failed to report for probation, and a warrant was issued for her arrest. She's approximately 5'4" and 135 pounds, and was last known to be staying in the 6500 block of Bradley Avenue in the city of Parma.
See, Red caught me on that one. Normally, when we have a unique weapon involved, I bring that out. So, Red, we've seen guns and knives, as you would expect. We've seen baseball bats, lamps, bottles. We've seen a chair used in one of our fugitives. So we will add a heavy glass bowl to our list of weapons used by our fugitives here on Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. Red, let's get to our third and final fugitive out there, Antonio Kirk, and he's got an alias out there, Zonian. I think I got that right.
Yes, Dan. Mr. Kirk may be known on the streets as Zonian, as you stated. He's wanted for a rape and sexual battery case with the Sheriff's Department that's alleged to have occurred in 2015. Antonio has a criminal history dating back to 2011, to include a guilty plea to having weapons while under disability in 2017. According to reports in that case, during a traffic stop by Euclid police, he was found to be in possession of a loaded handgun and narcotics. He may also have connections with the 156 Bricks gang. Antonio can be identified by his neck tattoo. He's approximately 5'3" and 150 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 1500 block of Newth Ave in the city of Euclid.
And Red, this is a great time to talk about this man is accused or could be affiliated with the 156 Bricks gang. So I could understand someone's hesitation of making a phone call to say, hey, I know where Antonio is hiding out. I know which family member he is staying with. And people may get hesitant. But that's why Crime Stoppers works. That's why there is a program like Crime Stoppers, because you get to remain completely anonymous. If somebody calls this tip number, why should they not have fear that their name is going to end up in some court record somewhere?
Well, Dan, as we go over every week, we don't record the phone calls. We don't have caller ID. We don't take down your number, name, or any identifying information. We actually provide you with an anonymous tip number, so your information is never exchanged.
And that phone call goes right to Crime Stoppers. That's not a call, that's not a phone number for here for Channel 19. 216-252-7463. And I love to reference that, hey, we've all had packages shipped and you get that tracking number and you want to track your package along the way. That's what happens here. When you call Crime Stoppers, you're going to be given a tracking number because you have to be able to call back in. They don't have your name, but they will have that tracking number. You call back in about 45 days later, see if your tip led to an arrest, and there could be reward money in this. Detective, we talk every week about a reward of up to $5,000, but what do you like people to remember?
That crime doesn't pay, but Crime Stoppers does.
Absolutely does. You don't want to mess with the incredibly talented women and men of not only the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, but law enforcement all over Northeast Ohio. These criminals aren't just staying in Cuyahoga County, so these tips can really help clean up all of Northeast Ohio. Detective, yet another good week, yet another set of fugitives. We'll keep doing it until we run out of a list. I don't think that'll ever happen, but we appreciate the time, and let's go out and get them.
We appreciate you.
All right, take care, Red. That's going to wrap it up for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted for the week. Again, that number 216-252-7463, and you could be eligible for that reward money. Our 11 o'clock news coming up in just about 20 minutes. I'll be anchoring that on CW43. Then our noon news on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great day.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.
All righty, Red. Patricia, thank you so much. We'll see you next
Thank
week.
you, Dan.
Have a
Great
good
job.
week.
Take care.